I'm here today to show you the best uses for Jamboard, Google Drawings, and Google Slides. We should consider this a living document or living video because things might change, I might miss something, or I might get something wrong. Okay, but I've spent too long preparing for how I was going to do this video. I told myself just go with it, and if something, if somebody else brings up a better idea, we'll make a new video. All right. So this came from this activity that I shared with teachers, where they can move around these different words to make poetry. It was created in Google Drawings. Okay, this was created by somebody else, not me. If I were to do it myself, I would actually create this in Google Slides for one reason. So you have a student that is here, they want to move the word surprise, but they miss it just a little bit and they're off to the side of it to the left and they move. Oh boy. Okay, so now the background is moved. Not good. All right. So what we actually could do better here is do this in Google Slides, okay? Because if you put a background in Google Slides, now this is not going to be the same background here, but let me just show you how this could work. Okay, we'll click on background here. I am just going to choose something that I happen to have in my photos. All right, there's an American flag. Good. We'll go done. All right, so we got this American flag on there, right? Now, if I click on something, it's not going, or if I click on the background, it's not going to move the background. Okay, so there's an advantage of Google Slides is that you cannot move the background if you import an image that way. All right, so that's pretty handy to have for activities like this one. Granted, this works great. Really, there's not that big of a deal. Sure, you can move the background, but that could be moved back pretty easily. We're kind of splitting hairs here, but I'm just showing you that if you're starting this one out from scratch, I would do it in Google Slides. Okay, now how do you add words in Google Slides? Well, if we take a look here at Insert, you're going to go to Word Art. Now, pause everything. Did you hear me? Word Art is where it's at for draggable activities like such as this. Okay, we'll click on Word Art. Now you'll see here, oops, here's where you put your word in. Okay, so we'll put the word in bear. It's funny. If I can't think of a word, I always put bear. Okay, so there we go. We got bear in there. Let's put in another word here. Insert. Again, Word Art. We're going to go, let's say me, Brady. Okay, and the reason why I put this is because, okay, we're going to put these into two columns here, right or left column. Which one is a human and which one's an animal? Now, although sometimes my wife would beg to differ, I am human. Okay, so now watch this though. I can drag it over to the left. Let's say animals to the left and humans to the right. Drag it to the right. Okay, you still might think not a big deal. But let me see here. If I double click on this, I can change the word, but it does not, if you double click on it, it doesn't do this. Watch this up here. So you got the word bear, bring it over. Okay, why not just use a text box to put the word bear and then we drag bear over that way? Well, watch. Okay, click on it, trying to move it. I can't move it. You have to click on the outside. It can be really tough. Oh gosh, don't do this. Okay, it's gonna be tough and things are gonna get moved around and I'm even having trouble right here. Okay, so that's why Word Art is where it's at. You can change the size of Word Art. You can change the color of the art too, all those things. Okay, it's easily draggable though. That's the big reason why. Okay, so this activity works best in Google Slides because you don't have to worry about the background here. It's going to stay in place because it offers, oops, hang on here. In Google Slides, you have the ability to change the background. You don't have that in Google Drawings. Okay, there's no background here. Okay, you do not have that in Jamboard. There's no, it says background here, but there's very few choices. Okay, you can't put your own picture in there. All right. So Google Slides, you can put in that background and it will not move. That's where it's at. All right. Best uses for Google Slides. Presentations, you already know that. Okay, slideshows. Online bulletin boards or what I just showed you, that other draggable activity where you drag a word to the left and to the right. That'd be a great use for it as well. Okay. But this other one's kind of neat here. Interactive activities that utilize linking between slides. So you may not even know this is possible, but watch this. Boom, goes to the next slide. Okay, so what? Why don't you just hit the down arrow? Let me show you. Okay, So here's what you can do. Or maybe you didn't know this. I'm going to get rid of this right now. Get rid of the link in general. Move the link. There we go. Okay, so a lot of people don't know this, but when you're in Google Slides, let's say you have a word that maybe refers to some information that you have on another slide. Okay, what you can do is link the word to that slide. We'll click on link, and you'll notice a lot of people don't see this is here, but slides in this presentation. Let's go to it, and well, heck, let's go to the last slide. Okay, hit apply. All right, so before I said, well, so what? You could just hit the down arrow and go down arrow and then just go to the next slide, okay? But how about the slide all the way at the bottom? You have to hit the down arrow quite a few times. Why not? Click on this, click last slide, and we're there, okay? If you go on YouTube, there's a lot of teachers that have come up with cool activities where you can click on a word and it brings you to another slide. I mean, heck, you could do a choose your own path story type of thing. In this way, okay? You can choose between one slide or the next. That would be really cool. So there you go. These are best uses for Google Slides, okay? Now let's go over to Google Drawings. Best uses for Google Drawings. You can sure do it for draggable activities like this. It looks awesome, okay? But the issue I told you about dragging that background, that's no good. All right, so you can do that if you want, but I wouldn't suggest it. What I would use Google Drawings for is right here. Creating backgrounds for use elsewhere. Okay, let's do that quickly. All right, so we're in Google Slides here. Yeah, this was pretty much a terrible example. Okay, Bear and Brady have nothing to do with the American flag. Let's try to make this a little better. Okay, slide 5. Here's slide 5. We want to put a background in slide 5. So how big is slide 5? This is important to know this. What is the size of the background that you need? Okay, you don't want to just guess on this. It'll look like crap. Trust me. If you click on File, go to Page Setup. It's on widescreen right now. So how big is widescreen? Well, click on Custom. It shows you 10 inches by 5.63 inches. Okay, let's remember that. 10 by 5.63. Let's go back to this drawing. Click on File, Page Setup, Custom, 10 by 5.63. It's a memory game. Hit apply. Voila. Take a look. You've got a Google drawing that is now the exact size of a Google slide. Okay, so why does that matter? Well, let's get rid of this. We're going to make a background here. So speaking of draggable activities, what we're going to do here is make some lines. So we'll do a line here. Okay, and I'm not going to make these lines straight. I don't care right now. All right. Again. Oh, this can be difficult sometimes. There we go. Another line. Okay. Let's say you want a line over here. Heck, who knows? You want a line here. Ooh, that one was really straight. Good news is, if you're neurotic, you can still go back and change the angle of this line. Okay, yeah, much better. All right, so now this might seem kind of like silly here. What is this used for? But or what is it used for? Well, maybe you want to do something like this. Okay, you want to put verbs in here. Okay, I like to copy and paste things. Seems to be quick. Nouns here. Okay, now here's where my language arts deficiencies are going to show. We'll go adverbs here. I gotta give myself more credit than that. I know what adverbs are. Just don't ask me. We'll copy and paste this one. Okay, over here, let's say you're doing pronouns. Right, I remember those phrases. All right, and then you're gonna put a bunch of words on this and have students drag it, right? Do not put your words on this Google drawing. No. Do it in Google Slides. So we need to export this and put it in Google Slides as a background. All right, to do that, go to File. We're going to download the image. Choose PNG. It will download onto your computer. Then you can go back here, go to the slide that you want, okay, and then click on background. All right, we're going to click on Choose Image. Now I need to upload from my computer. All right, it was downloaded to the downloads file. Yeah, there it is. All right, there it is. Hit enter. It's gonna be awesome. Done. Oh yeah, let's get rid of this stuff here. But now you've got a background that the students cannot move. As much as they want to try, they can't move it. So now you can click on Insert. Okay, word art. You're going to go, let's do animal for one. Okay, I'm just thinking of a bunch of words that we could put in. Okay, word art. Let's do run. Okay, there we go, run. You're getting the idea right here. We'll do one more. Okay, she. Enter. Okay, so you can have the student then drag them to where they need to be dragged or where the correct place is. All right. Language arts teachers want to correct my work here. All right. So I would use Google Slides for these draggable activities for this reason. Okay. Use Google Drawings for creating those backgrounds. All right. Or just for creating cool art in general. Google Drawings is great. Okay. Now, Jamboard. All right. So now in Jamboard, you could do a lot of things. Okay, you could actually do this type of an activity in Jamboard here, and it kind of works better than I thought it would. To tell you the truth, let's show you how I did this. Okay, we'll get to that one. Okay, so Jamboard, maybe you don't want to make a background. So, you want to make a background like I just showed you, and you just want to do that, and then click on verbs, and then here we'll do nouns on this side. Nouns. Make this a little wider. Okay. The neat part about Jamboard that I actually just learned is the students can't move like the lines here. So at least that's something that they can't move. But if they go up here to the words, they will be able to move these. Okay. Just tell them don't do that. All right. But the cool thing that you might have noticed about the words is you can drag them without having to click on the outside. It's not until you double click inside that you're actually in the word. So in a way, it's kind of like these words are word art. They move like word art does. Okay, so you could do an activity like this in Jamboard where you put the words in the middle or something, have students drag left and right. Okay, so something to just know. But best uses for Jamboard, you guys, is going to be, use it for like a marker board that you use in your own classroom. Okay, so remember back in the day before COVID, when you would have something that came to your head as you're lecturing, and I better draw something on the board. Okay, whatever you drew on the board, draw that in Jamboard now, because students at home will be able to see it, and students in the classroom are going to be able to see it too. Okay, so those spur of the moment drawings and diagrams. I'm thinking math and science here, you guys. Okay, so the equations like this. Okay, if you want students, so how about this here? If you want students to maybe underline something like that, okay, they could. All right, so these are good ways that you can assess students pretty quickly, and you can do it with Jamboard right here. All right. Now, Jamboard also offers you some other opportunities. Let's go to this last thing I've got down here. By the way, look at this part. So in Jamboard, if you've got something you want to draw attention to, you got this little red dot that is kind of like your laser pointer. Kind of neat. So if you have to draw attention to something, the laser pointer is an option in Jamboard. It's not an option anywhere else. Keep that in mind. Okay. Says can use for presentations that require drawing or editing in real time. Okay. So to do drawings and stuff like this in real time, not having to do make a background, import it into Google Slides, and then this. Okay. If you just want to do this like this in real time, you can sure do it if you were to do it here in Jamboard. Okay. So that's another use that you can use Jamboard for. Okay. So let's say you've got something like this in Jamboard here, and you want to just talk about this, present about this, and then, I don't know, maybe have students recreate this. Okay. There's another way you could use Jamboard here. All right. Now, recreating the rest of it's going to be a little bit more difficult here, but actually not really. Okay. You can just keep putting circles within circles. Okay. And move them around. All right. Kind of get the idea. Students can then label things pretty easily. Okay. Okay, let's say that one was that was the mantle. We'll say. All right, we're going to make all this text here a lot smaller. There we go. Make this wider. Okay, so students could do that pretty easily. Okay, This could be something that the students could use, or you could use Jamboard for. And then student A is on this slide. Okay, we'll copy this. Student B is on the next slide here. Okay, I keep hitting new slides and putting these images on. Okay, so let's say you want to do something like this and you quickly want to make a bunch of slides for students and have them then go in and, oops, let's say that they use the circle tool, okay, the other tool there, and then do this and then put mantle, okay. They could put typing of mantle. It's going to be a lot quicker. But what I'm getting at here is this. You can use Jamboard to do this in an instant. You don't need to be going through all the steps that it would take to do the same thing in Google Slides or Google Drawings. It's quick. So if you want to do just things in the moment, very quick, during a lecture, Jamboard is your jam, okay? If you want to make interactive slides or interactive activities, Google Slides is your jam. Really is, okay? Now, if you want to make things look pretty and you want to create backgrounds and stuff like that, you're going to want to use Google Drawings to do that. Okay. Now remember too, that page setup thing I showed you to change the size. Go to custom and make it whatever size you want. All right. There's your overview of Jamboard, Google Slides, and Google Drawings. Like I said, things might change. I might hear about some new uses for these things, but as far as I can tell, these are the best uses at this point. All right. Go out and try them out for yourself.